Welcome to this explainer. Today we're stepping right into a story that is just incredibly rich in history, devotion, and community. We're going to walk through the profound and really joyous days of EidUlAdha and Hajj. Now, whether you're already super familiar with these traditions or maybe you're learning about them for the very first time, these days of Dhul Hijjah are packed with amazing lessons about human connection and faith. So, let's get right into it.
Let's kick things off with a question. And it's actually the exact same question curious kids ask when they get deeply attached to their Eid animals. You know how it is. Children often spend weeks feeding, petting, and just playing with these animals, forming a really genuine bond. And inevitably, they'll look up at you and ask, why do we have to sacrifice an animal we've come to love so much? It's a deeply sincere and honestly a somewhat heavy question, right?
Section 1. The Joy of Eid. To properly answer that question, we first need to zoom in on the sheer sensory excitement and joy surrounding this festival in the days leading up to it.
The preparations are an absolute sensory delight. The whole festival officially kicks off the second the new moon of Dhul Hijjah is spotted. From there, the markets just light up. Families rush out to shop, picking out these vibrant pink bangles and crisp, clean white clothes. Back home, everybody's decorating their houses with twinkling fairy lights. And of course, the absolute highlight for the kids is heading to the market to buy a beautiful, fluffy goat or sheep. The sources specifically point out that treating these animals with immense kindness, feeding them well, and caring for them isn't just fun for the kids, it's actually a direct teaching of the Sunnah, the prophetic tradition.
And it's just incredible to see how this captures the hilarious and vivid imaginations of kids during this time. When kids get these animals, they don't just see livestock. As one of our sources delightfully notes, children will look at their goat and literally imagine a big, fluffy, white animal walking slowly with style, kind of like a runway model. Some kids imagine their goats wearing sunglasses or acting like slow-motion action heroes. They give them these endearing names like Shahzada, Rocket, or Gulu. And these animals quickly become their absolute best friends. But here's the thing, this deep, playful attachment, that is exactly what leads to a powerful realization about giving up what you love for a higher purpose. When a child asks their parent, why does Gulu have to go away? The parent's answer reveals that true sacrifice isn't about just giving away something you don't really care about. No, it means willingly parting with something totally precious for the sake of the Creator.
Section 2. The Story of Sacrifice. Let's see how this builds from a modern-day neighborhood into a monumental historical event. Because this act of sacrifice we see today isn't just some localized tradition. It is a direct reenactment of a 4,000-year-old test of a father's faith. Think about Prophet Ibrahim, who was revered as the friend of Allah. He prayed for years and years just to have a child. When he finally was blessed with his beloved son Ismail, he was tested with an absolutely unimaginable command, delivered through a profound dream. He was asked to sacrifice his own son.
And this really illustrates the sequence of their absolute devotion. So 4,000 years ago, the dream came. When Prophet Ibrahim told his young son about the command, Ismail didn't run away. He agreed patiently, telling his father that he would find him among the steadfast. As they walked to fulfill this command, the devil tried to tempt them to stop, to disobey. But they fiercely threw pebbles at the temptation, an action known as the stoning of the devil that millions still physically recreate today. Finally, right as Ibrahim was about to complete this ultimate sacrifice, a substitute ram was sent down from heaven. The test of faith was passed.
Section 3. The Journey of Hajj. Now, let's zoom out to the global scale and look at how people arrive in Makkah every single year to recreate these ancient acts of faith. But before they even arrive in Makkah, the pilgrims have to prepare. One of the sources shares a wonderful little story of a 10-year-old boy named Umar. He's watching his grandfather pack for this massive, once-in-a-lifetime trip. But Umar is confused, and he asks, why pack plain towels instead of nice suits? He's wondering why someone going to the house of Allah wouldn't take their absolute best clothes. Makes sense, right? Well, the grandfather's answer is crucial. Those plain white towels are called the ihram. And the ihram intentionally strips away all luxury, all worldly status, and all arrogance. Whether you are a massively wealthy king or an everyday laborer, you are wearing the exact same two unstitched white sheets. It makes everyone look absolutely identical and totally equal before Allah. In that space, your wealth and your titles mean nothing. Once dressed in the ihram, pilgrims perform the beautiful physical steps of Hajj. After establishing that profound equality, they walk and run between the two hills of Safa and Marwa. And this specific action, it honors a mother's fierce love. It perfectly mirrors the frantic run of Bibi Hajra, who was desperately searching for water in the barren desert for her crying baby Ismail. Her immense trust in Allah was rewarded when the Zamzam spring miraculously gushed right out of the earth. And as millions of pilgrims retrace her steps today, they continuously chant Labbaik, which translates to this beautiful declaration, "Here I am, O Allah." Now, the physical and emotional toll of Hajj is immense, for sure, but so is the ultimate spiritual reward. For those who endure the journey, avoid wrongdoing, and complete the pilgrimage with pure intentions, the result is truly beautiful. They return home completely cleansed of their past sins, arriving back to their families as pure and spotless as a newborn baby.
Section 4. The true meaning of Qurbani. Let's zoom back in from that massive global gathering in Makkah, right back to our local neighborhoods, to uncover the true, practical meaning of the Qurbani, the Eid sacrifice at home.
So, what actually happens to the sacrifice? Well, it's definitely not hoarded. The meat is strictly divided into 3 equal parts. 1/3 is kept for the immediate family, 1/3 is given to relatives and neighbors, and incredibly importantly, the final 1/3 is distributed to the poor. This visualizes a brilliant Islamic rule of sharing. One source tells a really touching story of a boy named Hamza who spots a poor child sitting all alone on Eid. Because of this specific division rule, Hamza shares his portion, ensuring that even a lonely, underprivileged kid gets to enjoy a delicious, festive meal.
But beyond the sharing of meat, what is the ultimate lesson you're supposed to take away from all this? It really comes down to one single word: taqwa. Taqwa is defined as piety. It's that deep devotion, the pure intentions, and the total willingness to submit. The sources make this emphatically clear. Allah does not want the physical meat, nor does he want the blood of the animal. Those tangible things do not reach heaven. What truly reaches him is the taqwa, the pure sincerity residing right there in a person's heart. And we absolutely must remember the timing of all this. The first 10 days of the month of Hijjah are considered the most blessed days of the entire year, even more beloved than other times. These days are specially carved out for extra devotion, acts of charity, and continuously chanting the takbir to express some really deep gratitude for all the blessings we have. Which brings us to the end of our explainer. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. Ask yourself, what beloved thing are you willing to share to bring joy to someone else today? The epic story of Ibrahim, the profound equality demonstrated in Hajj, and the generous charity of the Qurbani, these aren't just ancient tales. They are active, living lessons challenging us right now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope this explainer brought you clarity, sparked your curiosity, and most importantly, left you inspired.